Welcome to the June 24, 2021 meeting of the Town of Southampton Planning Board. In accordance with the Governor's Executive Order 202.1 and its related extensions, this evening's board meeting will be held remotely via video conference. Please note, however, because the Governor will no longer be extending the relevant executive order, this will be the last remote meeting of this board. Beginning at our next meeting, that is July 8th, the Planning Board will resume its meetings in person at Town Hall. In the absence of the secretary, I'll call the roll. Vice Chair is here, Jackie LaFaro. Vice Chair, Dennis Finnerty. Zuccarelli, Gloria Burke, Secretary is absent. John Zuccarelli is absent. Robin Long.
Present.
Craig Catalanato.
Present.
We have a quorum. Please join the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America
and to the
republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible,
with
with liberty and
justice
justice for
for
all.
We have one public hearing this evening. We have applicants and members of the public standing by via Zoom webinar, which is being moderated by CTV. Charles Certain will be muting and holding the speakers in a virtual waiting room until it's their time to give testimony before the board. A reminder that applicants, agents, and the members of the public speaking should state their name and address for the record. A further reminder that despite the Zoom environment, all comments should be directed to the board and not to the participants. The link to participate in this meeting via Zoom can be found on the town's website. This meeting is also being live streamed on the town's website on the town clerk's meeting portal. If you're having difficulty accessing the meeting, please visit the town clerk's meeting portal and click on the instruction link. Public comments can be made via Zoom, by email, or by uploading them to the town clerk's portal on the planning board's page. You will see on that page a button you can click to upload your comments. Please do not use the Zoom chat function to register your comments. Any comments made via chat function will not be included in or made part of the record. Instead, you may either speak at the hearing or submit your comments in writing after the hearing. Board members who must recuse themselves from any application will state so on the record and will be removed from the meeting until the end of the hearing. Otherwise, unless otherwise stated, at the end of each hearing, this application will remain open for written comments from the applicant and the public for 30 days. Those comments can also be made via email or uploading your comments on the town clerk's portal under the planning board meeting page. Additionally, in accordance with the governor's order, these hearings will be recorded and transcribed and will be made available to the public. Okay, so we have only one hearing tonight, and that is Bridgehampton Comments, reviewing the modifications to the master sign plan. So who is representing, Claire?
So that would be Duris Ennis and InterScience, if you could let them in. Charles.
We have
and then Pam.
Proper notice.
Yes, Madam Chair, we have proper notice.
Thank you.
And then Pam Harwood, I know, wants to speak from the public. So
Okay.
you could let her in too. And then I'll read the notice into the paper, okay? Into the record. Please take notice that in accordance with the Governor's Executive Order number 202.1, a public hearing will be held by the Southampton Town Planning Board on Thursday, June 24th, 2021 at 6 p.m. via video conferencing to consider the site plan application entitled Bridgehampton Commons Master Sign Plan. The site plan application is for the modification of the site plan, master sign plan associated with the 5 retail buildings on 2 parcels totaling approximately 30 acres approved with an existing shopping center located in the SCB zoning district at 2044 and 2102 Montauk Highway, Hamlet of Bridgehampton, Suffolk County tax map numbers 900-83-1-14, 20, 21, 22, and 23.5. By order of the Planning Board, Town of Southampton, Gloria Burke, Secretary.
Claire, just tell us what we're here for.
Yeah, so this is a modification of a master sign plan. At the time of the creation of the shopping center, a master sign plan was established, which established the color blue for all signs for the property, and the applicant has requested, because of the distance of time, it's been 30 years since looked at, 31 years, they would like to update the master sign plan with a color scheme for the smaller units, which is under 8,000 square feet, and larger units having the ability to come in and individually get individual signs for their sites. So I do have those plans. And maybe, do the applicant want me to show the plans, or would you prefer to control it as you describe the application?
Okay, are we on? We are, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be you.
I think we're gonna, in our presentation, we're gonna go through the signs and show them,
Okay,
and we can do that.
okay, that would be fine. And I think everybody's familiar with the site, right? Located in Bridgehampton Commons.
Yes.
Bridgehampton, okay. So we'll give it over to the applicants. They can present the application.
Can you all identify yourselves for the record, please?
Timothy S. McCulley, Perkins Sullivan for the applicant. Mike Shiano and Sabrina Kelly from InterScience Research Associates, and Doris Ennis is on from Kimco Realty.
Thank you. It's all yours.
Okay, just have a brief statement just for the record to make it clear in case people are not familiar with the site who are listening in. The premises is known as Bridgehampton Commons. It's a shopping center, has two pieces of property together of 30 acres. It's located on the northwest corner of Montauk Highway and Snake Hollow Road. It has two entrances on Montauk Highway and two entrances on Snake Hollow Road. At the present time, there are 27 tenants, 7 of which are 8,000 square feet or greater. The property is owned shopping center business and is anchored by Kmart, King Cullen, and a TJ Maxx. As Claire had mentioned, as a result of an expansion that was taking place in the late 80s, which was originally denied by the planning board, litigation ensued, and then a settlement was entered into. And as part of that settlement, they put together a master sign plan. The master sign plan has been there for 30 years, and we're just trying to get it updated. So we can refresh the look of the shopping center. And so the stores can be easily identified when people come into the shopping center. So the purpose of the meeting is to consider our request for a proposed updated master plan, which proposes an amendment of the required blue color to a gold lettering on green background for all tenants occupying spaces less than 8,000 square feet, and individual colors for the tenants occupying the larger spaces over 8,000 square feet and above. And those colors will fit within a palette that we culled from what's been adopted already by the town for administrative review. That's part of the master plan. It's attached to it. I hope you have that. Except for a portion of the existing TJ Maxx and proposed Marshall signs, which are partially visible from Snake Hollow Road, none of the signs are visible from the road. And we have some shots that's up on the board, and we're going to show you streetscape pictures showing from different areas along the two different roads that they're not visible. I'm going to turn it over to Mike Shiano from InterScience to go through those pictures.
Hi, this is Mike Shiano from InterScience, 36 Newton Street, Southampton. So when we went to go post the public notice signs, we walked along the two public right-of-ways in order to see how visible or not visible the signages would be from both right-of-ways. So this is starting from
West.
from the west. And then as we go towards the east along Montauk Highway, you can see that the majority of this is very heavily vegetated, and only at the entrances can you even see the buildings themselves. And the trees that are on the site then further obscure the view of the buildings and where the signages would be. And in fact, when we, under the new sign plan, the green backgrounds of the sign should blend more into what with the greenery that's around. So only when viewing it at certain angles can you kind of catch glimpses of some of the logos. Like here you can see the K in the Kmart, but this is us standing on the side of the road, not in a car driving past it. And then this is on Snake Hollow Road. And so this is where you would see more prevalently the signs. But again, these signs have already been approved, or we will be talking about them. And that takes us around both entrances, both main entrances of the complex.
Yep. Do you have any questions on those pictures? And just to point out too is, as part of the site plan approval, we agreed to enhance the screening where that new building is being, where the new extension is, up on that north side. So that's all going to be redone as part of the landscape plan that was approved by the board a couple of years ago. So basically, what we're asking for is this updated master plan, which gives us a little more leeway for the larger stores in terms of color, and it updates the signs for the smaller ones to the green and gold. Now, all of these signs, the board had asked us to go to the ARB, if you recall, and have them look at the signs. They looked at every one of these signs individually and approved all of them, except for, they had some concerns about the size of the logo on the AT&T sign and the Petco sign. And we reduced those. And they also were not confident that we were keeping the TJ Maxx and the Marshall signs in where they would be together in the same size. So we scaled that for them. And the board at their meeting in approving all the other signs said that we could submit to the chairman, Mike Sherrier, for his approval. If he felt comfortable, he could sign off on those. I don't know, Claire, whether you've gotten anything back from him or not.
Not formally.
Okay.
There's something he needs from us internally to complete the review, but
Okay,
it seems like you had done what he had asked to do, so it's just a matter of verification. Right?
Yeah, that's okay. I didn't know if he'd had a chance to look at them or not.
Yeah.
So, basically that's what we're asking for at this point, which I think is pretty reasonable. And as I say, the ARB didn't have any difficulty with it.
So are you giving us a presentation? Is that what you're doing?
Sure. I mean, we can go through each of these. So none of the, there are 28 different signs for different tenants. And the signage themselves is like the fonts of each sign is not changing, except where in one case the logo, where logos may have been added. Again, all of these have been approved by the ARB, except where Tim noted that. This is the only change where there's additional lettering that was added. And this was a different name that was changed for the use. But otherwise, we're just changing the coloring. So as you can see, as we go through this, the signs basically look, the lettering all looks the same. It's just that the coloring has been changed, until we get to the stores that are 8,000 square feet or larger, where coloring has well, these colorings for the Staples and Ulta. This has changed, and Walgreens was able to change from the being the less than 8,000 square foot coloring to being more than 8,000 square feet coloring, where they're able to choose different color palettes. This basically just takes us to the end of what signs are being proposed.
Yeah, the signs are going to, there's either comply with what was already approved, the existing size and lettering, et cetera, or be consistent with the code. And that's one of the purposes is the master plan sets out a lot more specifics. The old plan was like 3 pages and, a couple of statements here and there. And this is more specific, so it's a better guide for the board going forward, I think. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, we've seen this any number of times. Any other comments from the board? Because I think we have someone from the CAC here, Pamela. Does someone wish to speak?
He's coming.
Do you mind taking down the plans?
Yep.
Yes, Pamela?
Hi there. Hi, everyone.
Good.
Nice to see everybody because I wasn't able to get on the last public hearing, as you well know. One thing I will want to say as an introduction is that,
Can you just identify yourself?
oh,
Pamela?
I'm sorry, Pamela Harwood, 371 Woodland Drive, Bridgehampton. I'm the chairwoman of the Bridgehampton Citizens Advisory Committee. The agenda that was distributed for this public hearing has an opening paragraph that says this meeting is not open to the public and no public comment will be taken. I understand that's a mistake and that it's probably a boilerplate copy from the work session, but still, this has happened before. I've brought it to the attention of the planning board before. It creates a lot of confusion. Several CAC members thought that that meant they couldn't, come on the public hearing. And since it is not the first time, I want to be on the record as saying that shouldn't be done at this point. It's been years.
Good.
Okay, moving on. Regarding today's topic, I want to make a few comments. The CAC, nearly everyone in the CAC would like this colors to stay the same. The blue and white, we feel connotes the ocean, the community. We're an ocean side community, and blue and white seems to be in keeping with that. It's very classy, and I'm hearing that after 31 years, the change of color is being done for an update. I happen to think the blue and white is much more modern. I wonder, you also mentioned easily identifiable when you're in there, the stores, but to me that means maybe a bit more garish to change colors. Lots of filled in green, gold. I don't really see how that's an improvement. I think the other is absolutely wonderful and perfect. It's not too, I think that's the reason it was done to begin with. As far as seeing it from the road, it's true that when you walk along the road or if you're in a low vehicle, you don't see inside, but I can assure you when you're on the Hampton Jitney, as so many people are, you can see all the signage. That may not matter too much. I also noticed that the photographs that were shown are taken during the summer, probably recently, and show summer foliage of deciduous trees and shrubs. During the winter, that foliage will not be there. And the commons is much more visible for the many, many months that those trees don't have foliage. Once you get into the Bridgehampton Commons, it's true, all the signs are much more visible. And we love the fact that the blue and white was very toned down. We felt connoted the ocean, and everybody enjoys that. We think it's very sophisticated and classy, and the blue and the gold more garish. We don't support the change. Also a little disturbing about the red. There are already stores with red, like I think King Cullen, but I'm hearing that the size of the bigger box stores may be enlarged. Is that correct?
No, just the color change, right?
So no font enlargement, no font size enlargement. I thought I heard that.
It all fits within the code.
I didn't ask that. I asked if the font size was being enlarged on the new signs that you're proposing.
Oh, please don't address the applicant, just the board, but we'll have
Okay,
that as a
Claire.
question.
Claire,
Okay.
do you know if the font is being enlarged for the big box stores or for Walgreens, Kmart, King Cullen?
Not off the top of my head.
Does anybody?
But we can check that.
know?
That's a good issue.
Right, but they look to be the same.
Well, I thought that was actually said earlier in
Yeah,
this evening.
yeah, part of the presentation.
Yes, I thought so. So
Yeah.
we did say the font was going to be enlarged. We would not support that either. And I think that that's all. I think you understand how we feel, and we would like things to remain the same. I understand updates, but I don't see this as being an update. I just see it as being a change to be more attention getting. And I guess attention getting is really not what we want. It's so sophisticated the way it is. It's, I think, one of the most attractive as it is shopping centers that I've ever seen. And everyone who goes knows what the stores are. You drive around, you walk around. People don't need to know that King Cullen is there. Everyone knows that King Cullen is there. And also now one thing I also do want to mention, I noticed the Dunkin' Donuts has an illustration. And I remember that at a previous perhaps work session, it was mentioned that they're not allowed to do that in the site plan, and they were actually in violation of the original site plan by having the illustration of the cup. Do you remember that, Jackie?
I think there are now logos, Pamela, that part of the change and the upgrade in the sign plan, master plan, is that logos can be used.
So the last time I
understand.
thought that there was a work session, it was going to be a question. So was that decided privately? Was
for
that ever
this-
a public
No,
discussion?
no. Was that on this master plan, or are you talking about a sign issue before this master
The
plan?
change, because
Before?
previously with this application, there was a discussion, a planning board discussion, where the applicant was requesting that, but it hadn't been approved. So now you're saying it's approved, but I wonder when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused. So Claire, can you help out here?
Sure. So the question had come up because most of these units existing don't have logos, though of course King Cullen does, right? But most of the other units did not, and Dunkin' Donuts did. And so the question to the applicant was whether that was approved with a sign permit application. They hadn't produced that, but now they're asking for a sign with a logo, which they are permitted by code, and they provided that information. The code does permit logos with the planning board review and the ARB review.
Okay, thank you. And I just want to make one final comment. In the past, I don't know that it's happened recently, but Dunkin' Donuts had put out signs outside the entrance of the Commons advertising Dunkin' Donuts, a pop-up sign. And the community is really, we're being besieged by roadside pop-up signs, and we certainly hope that these will not be appearing in the future. And I don't know what enforcement there is. We are having to contact almost daily the code enforcement department to deal with things like this, and then they come again. So we certainly don't want to see it at the Commons as well. I also want to make another comment where the Suffolk County Transit is, the bus stations that were put there because of this shopping center being built originally are very often lined with trash. The trash is not picked up often enough when it's windy during winter, the trash blows all over. And I would also request that the applicant make sure that the shopping carts and the trash that is right outside the Commons be picked up on a regular basis and the area be kept clean. I think inside the Commons is lovely. They do a wonderful job with plantings and keeping the inside very, very clean. But outside, once people who have shopped there go outside and wait at the bus stop, they throw away a lot of trash and leave shopping carts there. And this is a real problem with the community. And that's it. Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to the,
Madam Chairperson, could you ask Ms. Harwood whether she's appearing individually herself or on behalf of the CAC?
she's representing the Bridgehampton CAC. She said that.
Okay, I just wanted a clarification on that.
That's your clarification.
And then as far as the logos go, logos were permitted in the original sign plan, in the master plan. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes?
There's no other hands. No.
No other hands. Any questions from the board? We've seen this several times in work sessions. Okay, your applicant is no closing comments, right?
No, that's
Okay.
for us.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to close this with a 10-day written no, has to be 30 days, sorry.
30.
Dennis, 30-day written comment
Second.
period. Second by Craig, all in favor. Opposed, abstentions, 4 in favor, 2 absent. We are 30-day written comment period. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before you leave, I'd just like to say, you got to get the planning department a better place to work. Go to work on that.
We're planning it.
Okay.
Thanks.
That's it.
See you all. Have a nice 4th of July break, everybody.
Yeah,
And remember, July 8th, we're back live in Town Hall.
motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Dennis, second by Robin. All in favor. Opposed,
Aye.
abstentions, 4 in favor,
Thank
2
you.